up.
Place Edge. I mean, there's a lot of talk here from Frog, so I thought maybe they were going to pick like Renekton or something, but it's just Kalista first again. And so Owner buys himself a Sejuani if he would like to play that.
Yeah, they could just take that, could pair up with a strong pick. They could even go like Renekton Sedge on this rotation if they wanted to. Though Zeus, a lot of people have been leading into the Renekton priority. Zeus not so much. Azir Sedge has been a super powerful 1-2 in the LCK. You know, I say powerful, it's been very popular, you know. It is, yes. They're both strong picks. The synergy maybe not there as much as like some other pairings, but looks like Owner's like, no, I'm happy with the Vi into Kalista, have fun playing the game. I think DRX could just go Renekton Sedge themselves here. I think Frog had a good game with the Renekton. You know, maybe you just go in that direction. But it looks like they're gonna secure the Renata. I think this makes sense, considering the Nico's gone.
Yeah, they know where their bread is buttered.
Oh,
no. It's the bot lane.
Yeah,
so
they
pick
are,
the bot lane as soon as you possibly can.
They are fully dialed into this. So like, okay, Clyde had a great game. Let's give him Renata. Let's see some big AoE ults. And then Yahoo on the Aurelion Sol again. And look, I read those patch notes. I saw what they said about, hey, high-level play, the tap Q, really powerful. We're going to hit his laning. And a lot of the opinions I heard was, well, he's just not really...
Yeah, I do agree. And so they're going to take that away. And there's not a lot of great options into Kennen, to be honest. So the Senna, once again, going to be banned here. And it's just Draven for Guma. So going to try to fight fire with fire and run straight at the Kalista and try to win lane.
Yeah, and Sponge, a lot of Zins out under his belt, so might just lean towards that. I think there's a lot of damage coming out from T1. Very different composition the last time where we said, hey, you know, they're limited in damage threats. The Senna's going to take a long time to come online. They've cut the bulk down,
yep.
And everyone is playing a champ they can really carry on, I feel, right now. So Zin's out, a lot of value in the ultimate, could also cause some disruption. But it looks like Frog might be going for the Jace here into the Kennen. The Cassante, you know, you're a Cassante. You do what you do. Looks like they'll go for that. So not going to be a winning lane matchup. And this is kind of my concern. Is the Aurelion Sol works fine when you had pressure bot and top. Now you've lost that pressure top. And bot lane, Keria has counter pick.
Yeah.
I could feel like he could take a range support here and his goal would just be to win lane hard. Soraka coming out in this one. And it's actually going to make it so hard for Kalista, because the thing with the Kalista is you're focusing damage on a one target, you're stacking up those spears, you're just going to have to keep stacking and stacking and stacking as the target gets healed up. Going to be very hard against the Draven, and the scaling of the Soraka absolutely massive. You can essentially counteract the damage from Yahoo's ult. I think Yahoo definitely needs Oblivion Orb in this one.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we'll see the itemization, I assume, just pull out of healing and support and chanter items, but as you mentioned, I was thinking the same thing. It started much earlier than game number one. Let's hop into the rings. All right, game number two, as it is Teleport Exhaust Cassante.
Oh, so this is huge because obviously DRX are like, look, we need Ignite into Soraka. We can't play our 2v2 in the lane without Ignite. It's just unplayable. And they're like, okay, well, Sponge can't take Exhaust. Yahoo can't take Exhaust. Frog's like, you know what? I've got you.
Yeah.
I've got you. I'll take the Exhaust for the Kennen. And honestly, you can just run over to the Kennen, exhaust the Kennen, ult him out of the fight. Like, you know, good luck. Zeus having a big ultimate in this one.
Yeah, I think his positioning is going to be paramount. He's really going to have to find the nice angles to catch him off guard so that at least he gets value at first. And then, you know, maybe he gets exhausted and pulled out of the fight, everything you mentioned. But certainly does feel like a very nice neutralizing pick as a tank into the top lane Kennen.
Also, something annoying playing Aurelion Sol into Soraka is, what does Aurelion Sol need to do for his Q? Stand still. And
yes.
Use his glide, and then Soraka can just throw a silence on his head. Yeah, I think Plato was trying to find a handshake angle there, but now Sponge in trouble.
Uh-oh. He's going to have to go in here. A lot of damage already done to Guma as Sponge goes the opposite way from the Vi, and actually...
Yahoo no longer has the strong side lanes.
Oh, the max range Q. That's a lot of damage, and Yahoo's just going to glide away.
He used Pretty much all of his thing as well. I mean, you know, I talked about how...
Oh boy, here we go. They're just going to run them down, and the silence comes in. Putta, the last hit is going to get the job done, as yes, bailout keeps him alive for a little bit, but it's still first blood to Guma already.
And it's working well for T1. Guma already getting a cash in. Wasn't too much gold, but a good start for the Draven lane, and going to contest the area. They will start this up, but there is members of T1 around who could come uncontested, so I think DRX, you might have to back off and be happy with 1 or 2.
I think they'll get 2. As T1, they move over, but it's a little bit slow. The mid-prio is there, but Yehu's just always threatening coming in. The handshake is going to be utilized. It's not going to hit anyone. His owner's pulled back, and he's just going to get away. And now Faker finds the angle alongside Azeu. Says, yes, the exhaust is there, but Sponge is already dead. Doesn't have his flash anymore. As Pleta and Yehu also get pushed away, and owner's going to pick up 1 grub.
T1 just managing to find these angles, getting engaged, and DRX staying for far too long there. The exhaust having a rough time, and Owner goes to the Dragon, but I think they were very afraid of the prospect of Owner turning a bot.
The bottom lane is obvious. It just feels like T1, all the plates going down as well. It's just huge, and you talked about it in the draft with DRX not having as many winning lanes and the counter pick for Keria coming up huge. This is what T1 does best.
Yeah, and Guma just picked up a Bloodthirster. I just don't see in any scenario how you actually, like, who has the damage to kill him in the bot lane. Like, I'm pretty sure you need Yehu and Frog to, like, CC chain him to death if he's going to go down.
Yeah.
You can no longer play the 2v2 bot. I mean, we've already seen them just try to farm and avoid any fights, but that is going to be how you have to play the rest of the lane. I genuinely see DRX wanting to swap away from the situation in the bot lane, disengage.
Pointing outs here. Let's see if T1 can get away from this one, as that is Yehu. They've got their own TP from Faker. As, yeah, the ult's going to be used by Yehu, but now he's just flashing and dashing away. I mean, that doesn't really do much in the trade of TPs.
I'm actually really glad that Faker TP'd, because if he didn't...
In this game, Yehu's in a bit of trouble. Devi is finally going to use her ult, and the silence comes down so you don't get a dash away. You talked about how valuable that is into the Aurelion Soul, and we see it on display already. 13 minutes into the game.
Yep, and this is the punishment for using that flash in the bot lane, and Teddy is 1v1 against Guma now.
He's going to try to go for the 1v1 here. I'm not sure exactly why. Just trying to push him off the turret or something. He sees his
health bar get low, and he's like, oh, I might be able to find this. Guma autos, and his health just goes back up, and you're like,
yeah. It's like 10% per auto. It's like, oh. Yeah, that's going to be the first turret blood going over to Guma.
One of the interesting things with Draven is the extra damage from his axes doesn't crit. So you can crit on an axe auto, but the bonus damage from the Q doesn't actually...
Save it, he was silenced. So it just, there's no winning on either side of that play. Look at the difference in plates. I mean, it's 10 plates to 0. And the laning phase dominance from T1 has really left its mark on this game number 2. It's not going to look anything like game 1 unless DRX get a massive turnaround. But they're going into Guma, who is a one-man army, and he has the rest of his team with him, as now going to get the handshake on here, the engage Renata, but the massive Kennen ult on top of everybody, and yes, the exhaust will help out. Down will go the Kennen, down will go Zeus, but the rest of the team looking to follow up here. They're not quite able to, though. A lot of health bars are low, as here comes Faker. The sweep gets nobody. And they're just all going to get away.
Swing and a miss. Honestly, considering DRX had a pretty good fight there with the deficit and with the ult that came in from Zeus, I thought that was just a clean sweep.
And Keria are, and they are. By the way, Redemption Rush here from Keria.
Yeah.
No Moonstone just yet. But at least Teddy's, you know, he's not that far behind. He has a kill. He didn't die. But I do wonder if he's going to be able to utilize any of the farm he's gotten in this game as it comes along, because there are just so many threats on the side of T1.
Set on that mid-tier 1 and won't let it go down, using the full force of that team to try and defend it.
Uh-oh. Just going to face check into the Xin Zhao. Now it is a Azir, and he is going to dash away, but now we got the ult on top of him as well. He's going to get the knock-up on the Faker. Here come the heals from the Soraka, and the redemption to keep him alive! It's just not fair, as Faker, his side lane shenanigans are only empowered by the power of Soraka.
Look at Keria, he's not even there, just walking around like, yep, I carried, I did that, I made the difference. Massive value on both of those. Owner as well, getting the ult down so much, but...
Uh-oh, here's the kill! But he does have exhaust, and it is Cassante. Look at Zeus, he's trying to help. The cleanse comes in. Guma has to flash away, and he's still going to get the execute. Jesus! And that's a kill. Now, they do have TP here available on Zeus. I don't know if they can really commit to this DRX, as now the TP comes in.
They've got to do it, they've got to do it.
It is a little bit late, but Owner's in the pit. He's ulting out of the backline. Sponge is dead. Oh no, it's disaster for DRX. It's an easy smite for T1. And this will be pretty much the end of the game, as massive amounts of golds went to the Draven. The Baron's going to go to the hands of T1. And they're already even pushing mid, as Owner's just going to chase Pleta and keep him off the map. Zeus says, I want a piece of the action as well. And Owner will pick up the kill. T1 running away with this game.
I don't think that could have gone worse for DRX. I genuinely think if you said, what is the worst thing that could happen right now? That would have been it. That was exactly it.
Yeah. That exact scenario.
It's actually funny how Frog really gave Guma a jump scare. You can see Zeus is kind of like, you got him right, you're good.
Yeah.
He like hand walks him, he's like, okay. There she dies. Guma gets about 8 billion gold.
Approximately.
Roughly, give or take.
He has 3.5 items at 25 minutes.
Yeah, if you round up to 8 billion, it's about 8 billion gold.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of items. I kind of want to, for science, of course, for science, I want to see him auto someone. See how much damage it does.
Yeah. All right, let's see it. Come on, Guma.
I think ideally Teddy.
Zeus is just going to press his buttons. He's just flashing on them, and they're all dead. It's another execute to come in. And yeah, that was an auto as well onto the Sinjao. Other stuff is happening, but I'm just watching the Draven one-shot people. As,
so low. Are we going to see how much damage it does? Because he killed Pleta, but he was on HP. Oh, there's Teddy. Run to him, Guma. Run to him. That's surely one auto.
They're like, nah, it's not worth it.
The thing is, he has a decent amount of crit, but if he doesn't crit as well, it's not the same.
Teddy's like, oh, I'll just stop the wave. Wait, they already have a wave. And, well, guys, this game is over. I'm sorry that game number 2 is not nearly as fun as game 1. But T1 really bopped them over the head.
Oh, but that's a Cassante.
Yeah, that's a Cassante. He's nearly dead. Just 3-4 autos down to that health as, yeah, Owner might go down here. The Nexus is very low as are they going to hit the Nexus? Okay, they finally do. And that'll be the end of game 2. T1 take the 2-0 tonight.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit unfortunate. We obviously, the draft, I feel like in game 1 had a lot of advantages for the side of DRX. The draft in game 2, not as good. They got kind of pick bot lane. That was great from Guma and Carrier bringing that